Welcome everyone. This is my third video, I think, and today we're going to talk about what does it actually mean to be a CTO. Because when I became a CTO, like in 2017, there wasn't much like definition about what my job is going to be like, what am I going to be doing on a daily basis. And since then, I've learned a few things, understood a few things, and now I have a pretty good understanding what being a CTO at different levels of companies really means. And I think back then when I was just starting, I missed this kind of video. I would prefer to really know, okay, how the transition is going to go, like what will I do, what does it mean to be a CTO. That's why I decided to record this video, because basically my journey went from being like a 3-man team to more than 50 people with multiple teams. And it was quite a journey, and I'd like to share with you my insights from back then to maybe like help you become a better one, because again, like we're all here to grow. Also myself, like I'm going to be reflecting on what I did back then. In the media, the CTO is usually portrayed as this technical wizard that solves every issue, that really can make anything happen, and he's usually the smartest guy in the room, always. But that's not really the reality. In most of the times, the CTO is usually the one behind the trenches. He's the one who's really building the product, like leading the technology, like the technology of the company. And it's the CEO who's usually like in front of the cameras talking about the company. And for example, like if you take OpenAI, Sam Altman, I think. Yeah, Sam Altman is like everywhere. He's the face of the company, and the last few months he got a bit of media coverage with the whole CEO outing and stuff. But in the end, he's the face of the company. He's the one where people think about OpenAI. They're like, okay, that's Sam Altman. So, and the CTO is mostly like behind the scenes. I think that's the way it should be on a specific level. Like once you get to the level where you're leading a multinational 20,000 employees company, I think the CTO also becomes very much political and media based, and because the clients, the people that you're dealing with is a level higher than I'm dealing with. And I'm not going to be telling you that I know how the CTOs of 1,000 people company act or behave, because I don't know. I'm not there yet. And we'll see in the future, maybe I'll gather that experience. But for now, when I'm recording this video, I don't have that experience. I'm going to be extrapolating something from the stuff that I've read, from the people who I've talked to, from the stuff that I've seen, based also on my experience. And I'm going to extrapolate based on that. So to see where I might end up based on my trajectory right now. And that's the plan for today, to give you more insights about the journey from a single person CTO, where you're a technical co-founder with your founder, up to like 100 people and 1,000 people companies when you turn to being more strategical. Okay, so let's talk about what does it mean to be a CTO at an early stage startup. Because like when you think about startup, you think mostly about things that need to be built. And that's exactly what a CTO does when basically, like a CTO at this point is a technical co-founder, so it's like they're equal titles, because one just sounds maybe fancier from some people. But in the end, the goal that you're going to have when you're a CTO at a small startup is to build the product and deliver on your promises to the CEO. So basically, the CEO has a vision, and you can also have the vision, but you're there to deliver on what the CEO has envisioned, and or your shared vision, whatever. And your goal is to get shit done. And by getting shit done, I mean the product is done, the infrastructure is set, you're going to start hiring talent, you're going to start setting up your deployment pipelines. Everything that you do at this point is focused on like the foundation that's going to be there for the next 5 years, and it's important that you get it right. And that's why I think the key skill that you need to have at this point is the technical expertise. And what that means is that you should already know how you're going to approach building. You should already know what does it mean to build a similar product like you're already building, like you're building now. And you should already know or have built similar stuff. In the sense, you should really understand how you should not build it, and you should really understand what's the best road that's going to take you less time but like produce a lot of value. So at this point you have like the typical challenges that you're solving is that you have constrained resources. So the resources that you have might be like a very little budget or non-existing budget. You're wearing many hats. You're basically like a DevOps, you're engineer, you're product manager, you're everything around the product, and your job is to deliver a product, and that's your only concern at this point. And on the other hand, you also need to start hiring people, and by hiring people, I mean you need to hire the right people, because the first hires are always crucial because they have a huge impact on the culture that you're going to be cultivating. And if you hire the wrong people, it's going to be like a negative value that they bring to the company. And it's going to be hard to notice the first years, but eventually it will be like you will notice that something's not right. And because the fish rots from the head, it's going to be your fault because you hired the wrong people at the start. So as I said, the key skill at this point is the technical expertise, and you need to have enough experience to understand if you're building the right product in the right way, in an efficient manner, with a lot of constraints, and you're doing a lot of stuff yourself. So you have probably non-existent budget, you have non-existing team, you have non-existing product backlog, maybe together with your co-founder, but it will fall down probably on your shoulders. So now that we're moving from a small startup where you did all by yourself, we're going like to a 100-person team, or like, 50 to 100. And at this point, you're going to be switching from hands-on to basically doing everything by yourself to more of a management position, like managing resources, managing people. So if before the motto was to build the product, now the motto is to manage the teams that are building the product. So at this point, the challenges will be that you need to scale your development efficiently. So because, as you know, throwing a lot of people on the problem does not in itself bring efficiency. It does not make you deliver more features by itself, because at some point you're going to be like, okay, I have 20 people, but we're delivering far less because the processes have gotten more convoluted, they've gotten more intertwined, and nothing is working as you need it. So at this point, you're basically setting up systems. Your job is to set up systems that will help you, A, not get burnt out because you cannot continue doing everything yourself, and B, to set up systems that work without you, so that you don't have to worry about every small thing. You can focus on high impact things as a CTO should, because again, we're growing in people, we're growing in complexity, and you cannot possibly be able to hold all of that information yourself, and you don't even need to do that. You need to delegate, you need to set up systems where things happen without your contribution, and that's okay. You might think that, okay, you might get anxiety, okay, will they really deliver on the promises? But that's the beauty of the thing. Like, you need to hire people who you're going to trust. And if they break your trust, that means, they're not suitable for the company, and you should find new ones. So as I mentioned, the main skill that you should cultivate in this stage is people management. Not product, but people. And the reason for that is because your company is going to thrive based on the systems that we've built at this point, and the systems that you've set up are going to evolve without your contributions. And the basis, so the fundamentals of the systems that you've set up are very important, because again, those are the ones people will use as reference, because, okay, our CTO together with our founding members have set up these processes. So why should we change? Because everyone thinks that you're probably the smartest person, but you should tell them that you expect them to be smarter than you. I really hope that you hired smarter people than you, because you should never be the smartest person in the room, because that's not how you should build your team. And eventually the systems will outgrow you, where you will come back after a year or so, where you see stuff being built with blueprints that you have no idea about, and you see that it makes sense, because your skills also get outdated. As you focus more on the management part, your technical expertise is going to suffer a bit. That's understandable. So let the stuff happen with people who know how to make it happen. Okay, so now we're going into the section where I know the least about. I've talked with some people, I've read some books, watched some videos as well, and I can extrapolate maybe some stuff from my experience. So how I see, for example, myself managing a 1,000-people company is the focus shifts really from management, hands-on, then to management, and then to strategic thinking. And strategic thinking means that you're basically focusing on the next 5 to 10 years. So every decision that you make is not a decision, it's more of a vector of movement. So for example, you tell that, okay, we're going to embrace CO2 neutrality in the next 5 years. And then that is basically like a vector where you want the technology to move towards to. And people will hear that vector and they will make it happen. So you're no longer in the execution space, you're more in like setting the tone, the vibe, the direction of the technological landscape. And that's where you're at. So you say, we're going to be CO2 neutral in 5 years. And then you go and talk with engineers, go and see how to make it happen in those 5 years and what opportunities, what kind of help do people need? Like how can you enable your departments, like your whole company to make it happen? At this stage, you're like a strategic thinker. You need to think about how to make your company survive and thrive the next 5 to 10 years. And you do that by talking with the people around you who you think are working on bleeding technology, where you see synergies, and you talk with people where you see that there is possibilities to combine the technologies and make something new happen. And you need to figure out, okay, what bleeding technology, what bleeding tech do I need to implement in my company so we stay viable the next 10 years? So for example, if you were a CTO like, I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe you would keep a very close eye on the AI part. And you will probably already like be discussing that 2 years ago before even OpenAI released the ChatGPT, and so that you would stay ahead of the curve. And it's important to really think about, okay, what's the technologies that's gonna bring closer the vision that we've set for the company, and in the end, you need to enable departments, the company, like everyone around you, to make it happen. You're not going to be making anything happen yourself, but you're going to be talking with very influential people, and you're going to be enabling your company with collaboration with other companies to thrive and build something amazing. One of the key things that you need to be able to do at this point is to properly communicate. So if, for example, at the initial stage of startup, the primary skill is building the tech knowledge that you have, when you move to this side, it's all about communication and talking with the right people and making sure that you see the signs before it's too late, and then enabling them. And how do you enable? You basically make things happen. And you make things happen by talking to the right people and making sure that they have enough resources, they have enough access to the necessary people, contacts and whatever. And it's basically done purely with soft skills. You're going to be reading reports and then making decisions based on those reports, and then making sure that people can act on your decision, and basically moving the company forward. Again, I have zero experience in this. Like I never was a CTO of 1,000 person company, but I'm extrapolating from my experience how I see, for example, if my company suddenly became 1,000 employees, how would they act? And that's how I see it. So now that we've theorized about the 1,000 people company, I'm going to tell you more about what my daily routine is as a CTO of a small company, because again, we're still at this point, we're somewhere between 30 and 50 people. So I'm going to tell you what I know for sure, and this is how my daily life looks like. So let's start from my morning. I wake up at 7:30. I don't go for a morning run, but I do check already on all the critical emails. I scroll a bit and see if there's anything bad happened in the night. Check a few Slack messages and then start getting ready for getting to the office. I don't really have breakfast. I usually go direct to the office and I grab a small croissant and a coffee on the way. And once I land in my office, you might think that I enjoy my coffee and think about how awesome I am. But that's not true. That's just not how it works. And I immediately start working. I start reading my emails again. I mark those that are important to answer as the first. I follow the inbox zero concept, where my inbox is usually empty by the end of the day. Well, actually, no, it's empty by the time I've processed everything, but it gets filled in during when I stop answering, because again, I do stop at one point and then just process them on the next day. But basically, I go through my emails and check if I can process any of them quite fast so that nobody is blocked. Then I go through my Slack messages and see if I received anything important. The usual messages that I get are about some HR updates, some stakeholder updates, some client emails where someone is worried about something, some team updates, and those usually very important if they already come to me, because we also have someone in charge as VP of engineering who handles most of the stuff, and if something comes to me, then it's quite important. I usually focus on the most important tasks that I've set for myself the day prior during the first half of the day. So I allocate some focus time when I don't read messages, don't read emails, also don't answer my phone. I always call back later, but usually I have my few hours of focus time, so I can just finish everything quickly, in the sense that I'm not blocked, not being distracted by anything, and this helped me stay focused the rest of the day, where I have my second session of focus time, and basically between those focus times I have meetings or lunch break, hopefully. So in the rare times that I do have lunch, and after this lunch I usually have client meetings or some vendor discussions, or some senior meetings, meetings with senior executives, so we can talk about maybe resources or something missing, or the budget is not enough, or I don't know, something broke, or someone is going to be fired, or someone is going to be hired. And in the end, we just discuss that on a high level and see if I'm needed somewhere, hands-on. But mostly, again, at this point, I'm managing systems and managing people, and not really hands-on doing stuff myself. So as you also know, I'm not really a CTO of a product-based company. I'm CTO of a development agency. So that means we're building not only one product at the same time, we're building quite a few of them at the same time with different teams working on different projects. So it's important that I'm aware of how the progress is doing on all of them, and if there are any big issues in terms of architecture decisions, or anything blocking, in the sense that, okay, some third-party agents who are building the product with us are not responding or something, and then stuff needs to be escalated. And that's where I also jump in and discuss that with product owners, and see if I can help somehow and enable them to continue doing their work. As I am a bit of a workaholic, I do tend to finish my work at home, and because the company also belongs to me partially, I'm interested in making sure that we grow as much as we can during this time that we have, because in the end, while I still do have a lot of energy right now to invest into the company, eventually, maybe in 5 to 10 years, I won't have as much energy, maybe, I don't know. Anything can happen, so I'm trying to put as much energy as I can right now, because I feel I can do that. So that's why I finish my work at home, and I still we have some people who work who start work late, and I discuss with them. I have a few meetings also in the late evening. Again, I'm fine with that at this moment, but I do think that at some point it will be too much, and I will be hopefully not burned out, but I will probably lower my output a bit, so that I can focus on the important things. During the evening when I come back, I also read stuff. I read a lot of hacker news. I must say, that's my favorite platform to read stuff. I usually don't read it when I open it, because I have this send to Kindle extension where I just click through the links that I've seen which caught my eye, and then I send them to my Kindle, and then I read them on my Kindle. Also, I highly recommend getting a Kindle or some kind of a digital media where you can. Actually, no, not an iPad, because again, I think the eyes are relaxing better when you're reading from Kindle. So that's mostly it for my work. Then I go for a walk, or go for a run, or go to the gym. Less to the gym and more to the walking part, because I do enjoy the nature, and I'm living where it's quite green a lot. So I go for a walk, think about stuff, and just enjoy my peace and quiet, so to speak. And at that moment, I'm already winding down, and can stop thinking about work. And at this point, I'm just coming home from the walk, and I can do personal stuff, and maybe meet some friends and enjoy good conversation, or have a drink with them sometime. And that's basically it. That's my daily life. Again, it might not sound exciting, and I'd like to tell it isn't exciting. At least it's not exciting every day of the week. I can't say that every day is very much like something amazing happens and I'm like full of energy. No, but I do enjoy the building a lot of different challenges, and because we are an agency, we build in different domains, and it's always kind of fun to dive deep into one of the other projects and talk about technologies that I did not have a lot of experience before. But I think agency is like a way of getting a lot of experience in a short amount of time, because the amount of projects that you build is huge. So it keeps me up on my feet, because I need to be able to understand it. I need to be able to like understand what my developers are telling me and what the clients want, and the best way to build that. And maybe in the future I won't need that, but again, as we're still a small company, I think that's kind of necessary. And I still see myself, so we talked about like hands-on and slash like hands-on first, and then managing the systems size of the company. I think I'm still like, sometimes I do fix a couple of bugs, and sometimes my weeks are just management and discussing systems and making sure that processes are right. And that's also fine. I think eventually, as we grow, I think I'm going to transition like more naturally to a fully management position. But I kind of enjoy coding. I enjoy building products. That's why I also do it in my spare time on the weekends when I have some weird idea. So, but at this point, I think I'm in a cozy place where I can still code a bit, and I'm managing, and I'm enjoying both parts equally. And I'm just looking forward to how we grow in the future, and what kind of products we're going to build. So yeah, this is it. So if you had fun watching this as much as I had fun recording this, let me know in the comments. Please press like and subscribe, because again, this motivates me, and I'm still having fun recording it. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll see each other in the next video.